Pardon me, sir, but are you a distant relative from Jaws? Hopefully you can swim a lot better than that one did. Shouldn't this be a Sharkticon? Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. Now we're back looking at some regular Transformers from the Age of the Primes line. And today we're going to take a look at one that I found interesting. This is Sky-Byte. Now, the original Sky-Byte was released for the Robots in Disguise toy line and its subsequent media. In it, for a time, Sky-Byte served as Megatron's second-in-command for the Decepticons. However, like many that get into a position like that, especially for the Decepticons, Sky-Byte turns out to be very ineffective at his job and is constantly being considered for replacement by the more capable character called Scourge. Although nonetheless, while Sky-Byte really doesn't care for humanity as a whole, especially since he's a Decepticon, he does seem to enjoy the art of haiku. So that does make him something of an interesting character. Now this version of Sky-Byte, this is the modern one from the Age of the Primes line, they finally designed him where the Shark alternate mode will not be in a permanent curve like just about every other toy that has been done of him. So I can imagine that quite a bit of engineering went into making Sky-Byte here. So he is a rather complex toy, to say the least. And one that will be loaded up with accessories, because you got to put a lot of things on this guy the moment you get him out of the packaging. He has a lot. And we'll start off by showing off many of his accessories. We'll start off with the obvious one, and that is his gun. And of course, his gun is a little bit fancy because, like on many of the original toys, the gun could be mounted inside the shark's mouth. And this one is similarly designed to do just that. Next up that we have to show are the shark fins. There are a couple of fins. And these when you find them, they will be attached to a plastic tree on the toy, so you will have to cut them free. And there is a slight difference, as you may have seen. One of them does have slots on it, and the other one is completely solid. And then lastly are these shoulder pads. These shoulder pads are also detached, but you will find them wrapped in the package. And as you can see, they are a mirror of each other, so you will need to make sure that you get a right and a left, since these are also used in the transformation. Before we put those all back on him, we'll take a look here at Sky-Byte's articulation. And he has what you would expect for a Transformer of his size. His head can be turned from side to side, and it is on a ball joint, so it will rock up and down a bit. His arm can be raised up to the side about so far. And the arms do rotate at the shoulder all the way around. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and it does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe battle grip, despite the fact that he's got a claw as the one hand and a fist on the other. And this is to show you the other arm does have the same articulation. You can twist him a bit at his hips. It's not perfect due to the shark kibble on his back. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a pretty good thigh cut going towards the one side. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee a little greater than 90 degrees. And he does have a one-sided swivel on his ankle. That's more to use for transforming him than anything else. Now we'll get him set back up and we will transform him. Alrighty folks, we will get started on here, but I will warn you in advance, he is a bit of a pain to get transformed due to the fact it does take a little bit of extra steps. Now the first thing we do is on his left hand here, we got to fold up the claws. Fold up the yellow claws onto the purple. They seem to have his hand, the hand turned like that. Since this arm forms the tail of the shark. But we'll adjust it as we go. We raise up the hinges that have his shoulder pads. And then once we have them up, we'll turn the pads themselves, as these will close up and conceal the body. And now we come around here to his backside, and we start to shift up his back, and then detach it to fold downwards. Now we come here and we take his left arm and we're going to fold it up like so. And then there's a bar there that you can see in there, and you just slide that arm towards the back. We'll have to shift the arm with the tail there for a moment, but we'll worry about that as we go. Once we've shifted it there, we're going to turn the arm at the elbow so that you can see this hole. I'll get my hand, get it down here a bit. See this hole here on the inside. Once we readjust it so it'll stay there. And then now we're going to bring up his other arm. First fold it up at the shoulder. Timber. Does tend to get a little top heavy there. But basically make sure it does come out like so. Then we're going to turn and bend the arm, as well as fold in his fist. Fold the fist inwards like so, and kind of rotate things, because his arm's going to come into here. Bend it at the shoulder there so it comes up. Then we'll come over here, turn it at the elbow, and then his hand is to go inside this hole. Just like that. So it does take a little bit. We'll pause for a moment. Alright, once you've connected the hand here, there's also a spot on the arm that also connects to the arm as well, so it's good and snug. And we'll come back down here and we'll straighten out the shark panel, the side panels, because we will also now be slowly adjusting things. To shift him upwards a bit so we can start working with his feet. We come down here and we'll fold down his feet like so. Then they want us to bend him at the knees. Just at the knee joint, not the whole leg. So that we can scrunch everything up. Press them together, you'll hear it snap. There we go. Then of course once we've done that, come down here and press his feet together, because as you can see they form the lower jaw of the shark's mouth. Then now comes the real fun part. Because inside there you'll see these holes on his legs, and they are going to line up with these pegs right here inside the shark body. So we got to shift things so that it brings it forward and lines up. You'll feel them press inwards. There we go. They all have went in. So then once that's done, you can slide down more of the shark head so that it goes over the lower jaws. You'll pull out these front side panels a bit and then rotate them so that they go down. Once you've got them folded down, you can then press them back in. And then, of course, we'll come back here and get these other panels. You may have to adjust the robot head since it holds the dorsal fin. But these should line up and connect like so. And all that's left is to rotate these fins on the side. And then there you have it. You have Sky-Byte in his alternative form of a robot shark. Unfortunately, given Larry's reference earlier to the Jaws films, Sky-Byte definitely looks more like a mechanical shark than Bruce did. But then again, Bruce wasn't water tested for the original Jaws film, which is what caused a lot of the problems for filming in the first place. He gets shipped up to Martha's Vineyard, they throw it in the water, and it promptly sank to the bottom. Hence why Spielberg spent most of that movie filming the shark only being seen in bits or rarely at all. Our imaginations helped add to the fear of what the shark looked like. Until we get to the famous scene near the end of "You're gonna need a bigger boat." And of course, right in here, you'll see there's a couple of grooves along the side of the mouth. Those line up with the pegs on the gun. So now he's got the gun in his mouth. And with the way the arms are positioned, you can swing the tail, and Sky-Byte gives motions like a real shark. So, the attention to the details on this is impressive. I will give it that much. This is one fancy looking creature. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Sky-Byte? I like how this version of the character turned out. As we've stated before, the other versions of it had him in a permanent curve right in the middle. So it always had him looking like that he was half bent around. This one, at least, allows you to display him and play with him as a real shark would be swimming in the waters. And of course, for any of you who may be wondering, you can reenact the Jaws poster. Maybe this is the route Universal should go with for a new Jaws film. Killer robot shark. Let's not give him any ideas. But at any rate, Sky-Byte is a strange character, but I do like the addition of him enjoying a form of Earth poetry. It does add a little touch of character to him. The toy itself, this one is probably the best one that's been made since it's not set up in that permanent curve. This one you can move him around and he doesn't look too bad. So all in all, I do like how he turned out. I can't deny it. This one looks pretty good. And that's my review of the Age of the Primes version of Sky-Byte. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content on this channel, Larry and I would certainly appreciate some likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. YouTube is monitoring how channels are being supported, so it's a little bit from you, but it means the world to us. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.